Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of the Random Select Podcast. It's your man Mario. I know it's been a while, but I'm back out here. I'm in these streets and I'm trying to do what I got to do. You can find me everywhere. You can find social media at, I'm in these digital streets. I'm posted up. I'm spinning the block, as the kids like to say. Don't forget, I'm on YouTube. I'm out there on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on the ticket to the taco. On TikTok at Mario Watts 2. You can find me over there. It's kind of a combined TikTok account with thing or two about life, the total podcast, which I am also a host of too. Don't forget to check that out as well. Catch me on all my little podcasts, as people like to say, but better not say that shit to me. Cause my podcast ain't little, you heard. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget, if you're out there anywhere, YouTube, subscribe. Spotify, go ahead and subscribe. All those places where you can get the Random Select, Apple Music, all those places. Thank you for hanging out. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that Random Select is even on Amazon Music, so get over there and check us out. If you're an Amazon subscription, go ahead, look up Random Select Podcast and you'll find me over there as well. So yeah, let's get into it. Y'all know, if you've had kids, right, and you of a certain age, me, I'm 51, and there's no secret, I have 6 kids, and they range from 32 down to 14, my youngest being 14. And what I realized as a parent, there are several ways it could go when it comes to dealing with your kids. You could end up having a really good relationship with your kids where the parent-child dynamic stays intact. They understand what their role is. They understand what their place is. And as a parent, here's the thing, though. You got to understand what your role is. You got to understand what your place is. Because regardless of what a lot of women think, or maybe some dudes, I haven't seen too many dudes trying to be their children friend, but I've seen some people do it, but like, that's my little road dog, that's my buddy, that's my ace, that's my ride or die. No, dude, that's your son, that's your daughter, you know what I mean? So you got to know your place as a parent too, is that when your kids of a certain age, when they need your guidance, when they need your understanding, they need your experience, and they need you to install discipline, they need for you to help increase the logical and critical thinking. They don't need you to be their friend. They got plenty of friends out there. And I mean, and when I say that, I mean that in just the typical normal kid, not these new recluse, shut-in kids that don't go outside, that don't make friends. These kids with social anxiety, socially awkward. Those kids, I don't mean those kids. I mean just the typical average kid's gonna make friends, right? So in essence, you don't have to be your kid's friend. You don't have to go down that particular road. You don't have to do that. So when it comes to parents, there is a dynamic that you want to try to preserve. There is a balance. They need to know their place. To put it quite simply, they need to know their place. You need to know your place. But as kids get older, we keep saying, when they're adults, my oldest is 32. And we keep saying, that's my baby, that's my child. No, what that is a grown ass adult who's expected to contribute to society as a grown ass adult. Cause nobody in this world see them as your baby, or that's my one and only, that always be my baby. Nobody else in this world sees them as that except you. And once they become a certain age, even you need to stop seeing their ass as that. They are grown, functional adults, and they need to be treated accordingly. Because what happens is, if you keep babying kids, if you keep treating them as if they're your pookie bear, what happens is you ultimately do them a disservice. You ultimately enable them, and you ultimately cripple them as from a mental standpoint, because they're going to always feel like out there I can go be whatever the world expects me to be grown. But when I come back home, I could come back to you talking like a child, talking like I'm an adolescent, and I could just say, Mommy, it's been hard out here. You don't think that you got about $50 that I could borrow? Better yet, borrow is a strong word, Mom. I'm never going to pay it back, so I mean $50 that I could have. Oh, sure, baby. Come on over here and get it, because you my Boogie Bear. Anything for my Boogie Bear. When your Boogie Bear's a middle-aged person in their fucking 30s and you in your 50s, they're supposed to be in the prime of their lives trying to make sure they get it, and make sure that they can be positioning themselves to one day potentially have to take care of you. But the trend in this world is now that these kids taking forever to get it together, and even when you're supposed to be transitioning kind of where they supposed to be taking care of you, I've seen 60-year-old friends of mine still taking care of their 40-something-year-old middle-aged kids, and niggas say, well, what are you going to do? That's my baby. Well, I could think of plenty you could do. So this is my dilemma, and it's a hard pill that I had to swallow. It's a hard pill that I had to come to. It's a hard pill that a harsh reality that as parents we have to come to and understand. And I'm telling my kids directly, as if and they don't listen to my podcast anyway. So, but I'm saying to them, and I've began to enact this in my real life, above board, and not just podcast talk, not just innuendo, not just posturing. This is real life. And my message to my kids and the message to your grown adult kids, and this is what I'm talking about, grown adult kids. My message to my grown adult kids and the message that should be to your grown adult kids is simply this. I paid what I owe to you. I don't owe you any damn thing else. And one thing we know for sure, this world don't owe you a damn thing. So you better stop walking around acting like you got receipts on people, like people owe you something. Because guess what? Whatever I owe you, I paid in full. Because I made sure all y'all graduated from high school. Check. Make sure you all had a roof over your head. Check. Make sure you always had food in your belly. Check. Make sure you always had clothes. Check. Make sure I always got you to your practices. Check. Made sure that I got you to your dentist appointments. Check. Made sure that you were healthy. You went to your doctor's appointment. Check. And for that oldest one, watched your baby when you had one. Check. Watched your baby while you went to school. Check. Took your baby to their appointments. Check. Took you to your prenatal appointments. Check. You understand? And my second daughter, you were raised, never had a hard time in your life, always lived in the suburbs, never had a chance to, never lived in no hood whatsoever, but yet still you choose to embrace the 420 life. So if that's the life that you choose, I don't have any problem with that, right? Period, point blank, whatsoever, because you made your choice. That's the choice you made. So since you made your choice and you always walking around talking about let you be grown, all right, boo. All right, baby girl, I got you. You go ahead and be grown. But when the shoe fall and the bottom fall out and you need help, I want you to keep that same fucking energy. You grown now. Grown people figure it out. Cause I'm grown. And when shit go wrong, I don't call y'all asking y'all for help. I don't call my friends asking them for help. I figure it out because not only am I walking around saying I'm grown, baby, I'm actually being grown. I'm not playing grown like on a TV show, like they say, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV, so what you said is you're not an adult, but you're playing one in real life. So when shit hits the fan, you keep that same energy and be grown. Keep that same energy, because at the end of the day, I don't owe you shit. My dues, I have paid them. I have paid them tenfold. I have paid them in full. So y'all might as well send me the pink slip, baby, the ownership, because I'm no longer renting. My bill is paid off. And to my middle daughter, Kira, I will give her absolutely complete credit. She don't ask me for anything. She maintains her life, and I love her to pieces, and I love her to death, because even though she may be going through things, even though she may be fucked up or may be over there, however, she never lets me know. And every time I call her, she always, hey, Dad. She always got a cheery, happy disposition. And if she ever did come to me for anything, that's the one I would be more than happy and more willing and able to help, because this girl tries her best to figure it out. And kudos to that. So the overwhelming situation that I'm saying with this is that people, we got to stop letting these kids mentally hold us hostage. Nostalgically hold us hostage. Make us feel like we owe them something, and that's holding us hostage. And as parents, you got to get to the point where you stop enabling the kids, because you always feel like I got it, because you're always providing that safety net for them. They don't have a fear of falling, right? If you was walking on a high wire and you had a net, you take chances, because I'm gonna fall. That net is gonna catch me. But look at it like this. Think about us, most of us, right? Growing up, depending on how your life was, not everybody had the same life. Okay. I grew up in Atlanta. I grew up in Techwood Homes, one of the worst projects in all of America, one of the biggest projects in all of America, one of the first projects, in Atlanta. I think it was the first projects in Atlanta. We learned how to appreciate things, because you just never know when that next thing might come. We learn how to barter with our friends and say, hey, look, I don't have this, but you have that. Tell you what, if you let me borrow this, I'll let you borrow that. And then, in a couple of days, we give it back to each other. We learn how to navigate life without involving our parents, right? Because we understood back then that they ain't have shit to give us, so it's no need to bother us. And to a man, to a woman, for somebody my age, is certain things you knew not to go to your parents with from the get-go, because you automatically know that either the answer was no, or you were asking for something that they couldn't provide or give to you or didn't have from the get-go. But with these kids right here, we feel this overwhelming need to have to please them. You'll be laying in your bed thinking of ways to buy them shit, thinking of ways to do things for them when they ain't even asking this stuff, because you feel that you want to have them keep up with the Joneses. The problem with a lot of these kids is they aren't familiar with struggle. And then the struggle that they are familiar with in their head, in the big overall scheme of things, is not struggle. It's just a struggle to them because they can't have the latest Switch video game. That's a struggle. But yet and still, they got a room, they got a TV, they actually got a Switch to play. If they did get the game to play it on, that's not a real struggle. They know that if no matter how much they bitch and complain, they can go down to the refrigerator and open up the refrigerator. There's going to be something to drink. Open up the cabinet. There's going to be something to eat. Open up the pantry. There's going to be a snack. That's not a real struggle that they're going through. There were times in our lives, I know especially in my life, when you went to the refrigerator and the only thing getting there, baby, was that same old familiar pitcher of ice water, baby. And if you ain't have no sugar, no Kool-Aid to go with that, it was just water. It didn't transform. It didn't turn into nothing else. It was just simply water. And you drank it because that was the only thing there to drink. You go to the pantry or the cupboards, it wasn't shit in there. You might at the best have some flour, because my mama always kept flour on deck because she baked things. And when we didn't have nothing else to eat, she could make us some biscuits, make us cornbread, make something to keep us from being hungry. We didn't have no meat, but that's what I'm saying. The struggle was absolutely and completely real for me. And I'm pretty sure it was completely real for a lot of you guys. And the struggle is not real for some of these kids. Now, for some kids, it really truly is. I'm talking about some of my, when I talk about most kids, and a lot of times when I get on the podcast, I tell y'all, when I talk about these kids, I'm not standing on no soapbox talking about nobody else's kids. I'm not standing on a soapbox saying, ooh, my kids are better than this or better than that. No, when I'm talking right here, right now, I'm drawing this experience, I'm drawing this moment, I'm drawing everything that I'm talking about from my own personal experience, and I'm definitely talking about my goddamn kids. So I say again to my kids, and y'all should be saying to y'all kids, I pay what I owe. I don't owe you nothing. You grown now. You got to go out there and get it yourself. You had a little push. You had a little head start. You had a moment where I gave you a platform to be successful. Most of y'all grew up. Most of my kids have had their own rooms since they came into this world. Most of my kids have had all the electronics and all of that from day one, right? My kids have not seen real struggle. And that's due to the fact that I designed my life to try to make it where I can have things. And by proxy, they could have things because I had things. But one of the critical mistakes, one of the key areas that I feel I truly fucked up in was providing that type of life for them. Because they never knew obstacles. They never knew struggle. And sometimes when a person don't know struggle, they don't understand or they don't believe that the struggle is real. So when a person don't believe the struggle is real, they think that how they grew up and how they got things, that's supposed to be life as norm. They don't understand that understand that none of what you got was because of you did it on the backs of yourself. Everything that you experience and everything that you got, everything that you feel you entitled to came off the back of your parents, came off the back of other people. You haven't put anything in to be able to pay a mortgage to keep a roof over your head. You ain't did anything to go out and put food in the refrigerator. And anytime y'all decide y'all got a little money to buy food, you buy it for yourself. You either go to the fast food place or you Uber eat, and then don't have the courtesy to ask anybody else, do they want anything? You know why you don't ask anybody else? Because you want anything, you privileged and figure this is only for you. And the older I get, the more I resent the fact that you grew up taking care of a big ass family, sharing whatever you got, thinking about everybody else and making everybody else comfortable. And then all the kids turn out selfish when they never see me be that way. They never see me be selfish. Anytime I got, hey, look, I'm dividing it up amongst the kids. Hey, look, I think about what needs to be done for the family first. And then everybody grow up to be selfish and be for themselves. And that shit drives me insane. So I'm saying to this, I pay what I owe. And y'all kids love to say, well, I'm keeping receipts. I got receipts. Oh, baby. If that's the road, that's what you want to put out there, and that's how y'all like to play the game, and that's how y'all want to do it, baby, I got receipts. So if you ever whip out that my parents, my dad ain't did shit for me, baby, I got receipts. If that's how y'all like to do it these days, I got receipts. Because the bottom line is this: I got you past being a toddler. I got you past elementary, middle school, high school. I got you to the point, to most of y'all, to where y'all was going into school. I definitely co-signed on cars, bought your cars, did everything, helped, gave money toward cars. I have paid what I owe, and I am no longer footing the bill for anything else. I love you, but I love you enough to understand that I got to leave y'all ass alone. And for a lot of y'all out there, you can love your kids. You can do what you have to do for them. You can love them, but you got to understand there comes a point when they become more than just your kids. They become adults. And you have to treat adults accordingly. Some of the shit the kids do to their parents these days that was regular, normal people out there in the street, you'd have been cut their ass off. But you don't cut them off because you say, that's my baby. See, here's the problem. You looking at them as that's my child. I'm supposed to do that. How come we don't never penalize them or hold them to the same accountable for what they supposed to say? That's my parents. That's my mama. That's my daddy. I ain't supposed to do them that way. Right? When you come into this world, people say, I didn't ask to be here. You didn't ask to be here, but when you come into this world, you have a God-given responsibility to do your fucking part. Just like I had a God-given responsibility to take care of you and make sure I got you to a fucking point. I checked all those boxes already and proved to you I got you to a point. Now it's on y'all. Now it's on y'all to do what y'all supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, I paid what I owe. I don't owe you anything. And if you keep coming around expecting me to pay, you're going to be sadly disappointed. Because you got to transition into your life and start paying what you owe to your kids. My two oldest have kids. Stop looking to collect from me and start paying what you owe to your children. Because you can't see it now. But one day, all this stuff, these podcasts, y'all gonna go back through and filter through when I'm no longer here. You're gonna look at this, you're gonna hear this, and you're gonna realize that I was absolutely correct, because you're gonna apply it to your life, you're gonna apply it to your kids, and you're gonna say to yourself, you done paid what you owe. So respect the fact that I'm telling you that now. I don't owe you nothing. The world don't owe you anything. So stop walking around thinking that you're entitled to something that you have not earned. You have not put your boots on the ground, put your hand in the dirt, and got that thing. Went out there and say, you know what? I earned it. All y'all do is show up, put your hand out, and expecting somebody to put something in your hand and be damn grateful that they did it for you. And a lot of y'all don't be damn grateful when somebody do something for you. Somebody do for you one time, you want them to do it 2 times. And when they do it 2 times, you want them to do it forever. Get off your ass, get up, get out, and get something. Because your dad, he done paid what he owe. Alright, I want to leave that right there, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. As my new format is, I'm trying to get in and get out within 20 to 25 minutes. Make sure that, because, people got short attention spans. And plus, you don't want to be listening to me forever. I want to get in there, get that message in, get it in, so y'all can get on with your day. But I want to try to take it, even though it's a shorter format, but I want to try to make it more powerful, more direct, and more to the point. And for y'all parents out there that's feeling some type of way, stressing over these kids, feeling like you letting them down because you can't do every single thing that they want, keep in mind, you probably done for them more than most people gonna ever do for them in their life. And sometimes these kids have a way of treating you whenever you say no, treating you like you never said yes ever. Learn to start treating them as adults that you love and not kids that you love. Because adults that you love, you could get them tough love and hard love. If you keep looking at them as kids when they 30 plus years old, you're going to forever have issues with them. And a lot of the time these issues be because we allow them to be issues. We don't know when to say when it comes to our kids. But not your boy, not your man, not Mario. Cause Mario done pay what he owe. And if anybody feel like they want to come do some investigation, some fact checking, baby, I got receipts. So let's do that. Alright, with that being said, your man is out. Mario, thank you for hanging out. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Look for it real soon, cause I'm back in the groove. I got shit to get off my chest, and we gonna do this thing. Alright, Mario bees out, yo.
Mario!
Glad you could make it!
You can clap now.